You've probably heard of the political organization called No Labels. It's one of those groups that vacuums up a lot of donor money by claiming to be bipartisan without offering any real solutions. One glance at the organization's scant platform reveals the same platitudes that voters have been hearing for years. Stuff like, quote, America must strike a balance between protecting women's rights to control their own reproductive health and our society's responsibility to protect human life. And, quote, Americans have a constitutional right to own guns, but society has a responsibility to keep dangerous weapons away from dangerous people, end quote. It's fantastic stuff. Despite that less than inspiring message, No Labels has some pretty ambitious plans and wants to run a so-called centrist candidate for president. And while No Labels may call itself bipartisan, it's pretty obvious to anyone paying attention that such a plan could help re-elect Donald Trump by siphoning moderate voters away from Joe Biden, the only candidate who has a substantial base of moderate voters. But don't take my word for it. Listen to one of the group's former top advisors who quit this year over the plan to run a third-party candidate.
I do not believe that an independent, bipartisan, third-party ticket has any chance of success in 2024. I fear that despite its intentions to the contrary, if it proceeds, it will end up it will end up helping Donald Trump.
The Republican Senator Mitt Romney of Utah said effectively the same thing, telling The Hill unequivocally, quote, the No Labels effort would elect Donald Trump. Going on to say, quote, I asked my chief strategist, what would a candidate have to be like in order to draw voters from Donald Trump as opposed to drawing from Joe Biden? He said it would have to be someone to the right of Donald Trump, end quote. No Labels may claim to be unaffiliated with any party, but, and this is a big but, when you look at what the group wants to do, one is left with the impression that it is effectively operating as a Trojan horse to help elect Republicans, especially considering how steadfastly No Labels is refusing to reveal its donor list. Something that would give all of us a better insight into who exactly wants to see a spoiler candidate run next year. NBC News correspondent Vaughn Hilliard recently pressed the group's founder on this matter. Listen to how that went.
Why not reveal your donors?
Because the truth is about the time in which we live in. You reveal, first of all, we're not a party.
But you're registering as a political party.
But that's just language. But we know how the game works in politics these days. It's not that people really want to see the donors because there's nothing nefarious going on here. It's because
why should they trust that, though?
You know what? They're going to have to see us through our work.
Oh, yeah. Now, No Labels may not want to reveal its donors, but Mother Jones got its hand on a partial list of them. And while some have indeed donated to both parties, as many ultra-rich donors do, the report found, quote, generally, these No Labels supporters appear to favor conservative candidates. We know the ultra-conservative billionaire Harlan Crow, the man who takes Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas on all those expensive vacations, has funded the group in the past. Mother Jones uncovered multiple Donald Trump donors who gave to No Labels, as well as a private equity baron who regularly gives six-figure donations to Republicans, and a natural gas billionaire named Michael Smith, who has donated millions to Mitch McConnell's super PAC. Now, to be fair, Michael Smith has also donated to the conservative West Virginia Democrat Joe Manchin, which is interesting, because Joe Manchin is very publicly flirting with the idea that he could run as the No Labels spoiler presidential candidate. That's right. Joe Manchin, Senator Manchin, the man who spent the last 2.5 years stymieing President Biden's agenda, is now apparently looking to bump Biden from office entirely. We're going to have much more on Senator Manchin's dangerous vanity project after this.